The game of power. Lesson 1. Never outshine the master. There is a truth about human nature that is often overlooked, especially by those who rise quickly in talent, skill, or success. The very individuals who hold the key to your advancement may also hold deep insecurities. And when those insecurities are triggered, intentionally or not, you risk everything. This is the first law of power. Never outshine the master. It sounds simple. Keep your light just bright enough to be useful, but never so brilliant that it eclipses the one in charge. Many overlook this, not out of arrogance, but out of enthusiasm. They think by showcasing their strengths, they'll be appreciated, promoted, protected. But history teaches a crueler lesson. Imagine a man at the height of wealth and intellect. Nicolas Fouquet, a brilliant mind, held one of the most powerful positions in France. As the finance minister to King Louis XIV, he managed money, policy, and political influence with charm and calculation. He was admired, connected, and above all, ambitious. When the king's prime minister died, Fouquet believed the path was clear. He would be next. After all, he had the loyalty, the skill, and the results to back it up. But Louis XIV had other plans. Rather than promote Fouquet, the young king abolished the position altogether. Subtle signs of distance began to show, and Fouquet felt the grip on his future slipping. So he made a move, a grand one. He invited the king to a celebration so luxurious, so breathtaking, it would make even royalty pause in admiration. Fouquet opened the gates of his private estate, a chateau more stunning than any courtier had ever dared to dream. Gardens stretched endlessly in perfect symmetry. Music filled the air. Fireworks painted the sky. The food, the entertainment, the poetry, all orchestrated to honour the king. Or so it seemed, but beneath the surface, every compliment given to Fouquet, every whisper of awe among the guests, sowed a seed of resentment in the monarch's heart. This was no longer just a tribute. To the king, it felt like a challenge. Fouquet had dared to shine too brightly. He hadn't just hosted a party, he had exposed the king's dependence on him, his lesser sense of taste, and perhaps worst of all, his own growing jealousy. The very next day, Fouquet was arrested, his wealth seized, his legacy shattered. He spent the rest of his life isolated in a remote prison, never again tasting the luxury he once bathed in. His mistake? He made the master feel small. Louis XIV, though surrounded by luxury and flattery, could not tolerate anyone basking in more glory than himself. To replace Fouquet, he selected a dull, frugal man who would never dare throw such a lavish affair. And with the funds Fouquet had once controlled, the king built Versailles, a palace grander than anything France had ever seen. He didn't just punish his rival, he erased him with magnificence. This is the silent rule of hierarchy. Those above you may smile at your success, but they do not forget how it makes them feel. In every organisation, in every social circle, power is emotional, before it is logical. The master, the boss, the mentor, they want to feel in control. They want to feel admired. When someone underneath them starts shining too brightly, it stirs something dangerous, doubt. They begin to wonder if they're losing relevance. They question their authority. They feel exposed. The tragic part? Fouquet probably didn't intend to provoke the king. He believed he was doing the right thing, offering loyalty, beauty, and prestige to the crown. But perception trumps intention. No matter how noble your reasons, if your actions disturb the pride of someone above you, you become a threat. And threats are eliminated. So what should you do instead? You learn to calibrate your brilliance. Let your talents be seen, but never in a way that overshadows those above you. If you are witty, make sure they appear wittier. If you're innovative, let them believe the ideas were seeded by their guidance. If you're successful, let the credit echo back to their leadership. This isn't about shrinking yourself. It's about strategy. It's about letting others feel safe in your presence so you can move further, faster, and with fewer obstacles. Power doesn't always belong to the most capable. It belongs to those who understand perception. Who can maneuver ego, especially the egos of those who can grant or block opportunity. And remember, the higher you rise, the more careful you must become. The fall from near the top is far more brutal than the stumble from the bottom. Learn from Fouquet. His brilliance wasn't his downfall, his lack of awareness was. He didn't play the emotional game of power. He sought a throne and walked toward it with fanfare, unaware that he was walking into exile. In the game of power, restraint is often more valuable than talent. Learn when to speak and when to be silent, when to shine and when to reflect. Let your master feel like the sun, even if you're the one holding the light. This is the art. This is the law. And if you master it, you will walk among the powerful without fear. Never outshine the master. End of lesson 1.